Fred Taylor as they break down today's game. Jaguars Postgame is brought to you by Farah and Farah, the University of Florida, Whataburger, and by Everbank. Jaguars Postgame, presented by G.E.H.A, starts right now.
And welcome in, everybody. The Jaguars get a win on the scoreboard, 24-20 over the New Orleans Saints to open up preseason action in 2026. Jaguars postgame brought to you by G.E.H.A, Government Employees Health Association, benefits for federal employees and retirees. I'm Mike Dempsey, and my great honor to be sitting down with a longtime football coach, in fact, a longtime Jaguars linebackers coach, Mark Duffner, here with me. And Duff, we're going to be handling some of these post-game duties throughout the preseason. Really looking forward to spending some time with you.
Are you kidding me, Mike? It's a privilege and pleasure for me to be with you. I mean that sincerely. Thank you.
Keep saying that. I'll keep you around a lot longer. Coach, from a perspective of a guy who's been in the league, right? And we get it. They're backups. A lot of guys we saw in the second half today are not going to be playing professional football, at least in this city, when it's all said and done. But what does it mean to a coaching staff to have your team respond regardless? They're down 20-6 at the half. They've made a lot of mental errors to come out and pitch a shutout in the second half. What would that mean to this coaching staff?
Well, it means everything to you. I mean, this on both sides of the football and in the special teams, they battled their tails off for 60 minutes, and it became a 60-minute game, one that was won with 2 seconds left in the ball game. So to respond like they did, the offense coming out, moving the football, running the ball well, play action pass, getting in the end zone, defense coming out, keeping them out of the end zone. I mean, geez, a heck of an effort.
All right, we'll talk a lot about Jamari Taylor over the course of the next couple of hours here, but he's probably deserves a soak in the tub, I'm guessing, after this one. Got a pretty good workout, and they weren't always pretty, but he ground out some tough yards in the second half.
Oh, he sure did. I mean, and again, tough yards. He was getting 5 yards, 6 yards, 8 yards, big tough yards when we needed it the most. And I think he gained a little bit in his running vision based on some of the inexperience they had in the offensive line. So tremendous effort by him, executed very well on a 2-point play, which oftentimes you don't get a chance to even get in preseason. So a lot of positives there.
Head coach Liam Cohen said this week, with most of the starters not playing, the thing he wanted was clean execution. I don't think he was very happy with what he got in the first half. You give up the 85-yard kickoff return. You give up a touchdown on the very first play with a couple of busted tackles. What is your head coach thinking at that moment, Duff, as the Jags couldn't have started in worse fashion today?
Well, that's right. And in a lot of ways, I'm kind of glad it started like that. I mean, it's not always going to be ice cream and hot dogs, easy, fun things. So, I mean, to have a lot of adversity hit, explosive kickoff return, score, touchdown, down, bingo, 21 seconds, all the things you mentioned, and then kind of a very inconsistent first half, to come back and play in the second half like they did, where the offense goes touchdown, field goal, touchdown. I mean, ran the ball well. The defense comes out and gets all stops. I mean, they had a stop on a missed field goal, a 3-and-out, a sack fumble, and then a stop at the end of the season, or end of the game. Excellent work. So, I mean, all this is money in the bank. It's priceless experience for this team to go through these things and come out with a win.
Jaguar fandom, I know, is looking at this backup quarterback situation and not that comfortable with it at the moment, to be honest with you. Nick Mullins, a little bit shaky, had an interception, was 3 of 7 for 33 yards. Carter Bradley threw a touchdown, almost had a second one. Trevor Payne, you dropped that one, but he did redeem himself. And we've got Carter Bradley standing by with Kai Stevens in the Caesars Superdome. Kai, take it away.
Yes, speaking of, Carter, congratulations on the win. What does it mean to you? I know it's special to be involved with the organization now, considering all the time you spent with your dad, with the Jags, but to go out there today with the Jaguars uniform on it and take some snaps.
Yeah, I think, growing up, in Jacksonville, always dreamed of the moment or, maybe an opportunity that would come my way to be part of this organization in a different way. And, when I got the call last year, I got signed. It was unbelievable. Try to take in every moment, and what an unbelievable season we had last year. So, but this offseason and everything that happened, just with OTAs, try to use that as a new opportunity for me to kind of challenge, Nick and Trevor, and for them to help me out, and then also Joey in any way that I could. But it's been a blast so far.
It can be difficult in the preseason because there's so many moving parts, different players coming in and out. How did you handle that, and what was that experience like?
Yeah, it wasn't a pretty first half. Let's just say that. But you know what? I'm very proud of that locker room. The way we came together. We said, just take it one play at a time. Go out there and just have fun and execute one play at a time. What now mentality. And I think that's the culture of Liam Cohen. And Grant Udinski and the whole staff. I think, this whole summer, putting the plan out for us and what it looks like was unbelievable. So we knew what we needed to do in that second half. And, guys kind of, went out there and just had fun.
Trevor had the headset on. Was he helping you out a little bit?
Yeah, Trevor was awesome today. Just telling me, hey, maybe think of it like this, seeing this, just, settling, me down, maybe the guys too, just how to handle certain things. So, him on the sideline was definitely a big help today.
How were you watching that last play of the game? It was like holding on, see what was going to happen?
Yeah, no, but I knew, I had all the faith in the world in the defense. I mean, the way those guys have showed up and pushed the offense, in training camp in the offseason has been unbelievable. So there was zero doubts in my mind that that play was going to happen. So,
Carter, thank you. Congrats on the win.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
All right, there you go. That's Kai Stevens with Carter Bradley. And even on the road, we'll call that a trip to the Everbank Vault. Everbank, advantage you. Make the most out of your money at everbank.com/Jaguars. We are just getting started here. Jaguars open up the preseason with a comeback 24-20 victory over the New Orleans Saints. Mike Dempsey and Mark Duffner here with you for the next couple hours. We'll take you back to New Orleans shortly. Coming up, again, Jags win it 24-20. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
All right, Jacksonville, listen up. When your AC quits in the Florida heat, who do you call? When the power goes out in the middle of the night, who do you call? When your water heater floods in the garage, who do you call?
Call the Donovan brothers.
Donovan Air, Electric, and Plumbing. Call 904-270-COOL. That's 904-270-COOL.
Is your organization ready to tackle its toughest challenges? For more than 30 years, CSI Companies has partnered with healthcare and technology organizations nationwide. From consulting on strategic projects to staff augmentation and workforce solutions, they help organizations navigate complex challenges with confidence. Learn more at csicompanies.com. That's csicompanies.com.
Brooks Rehabilitation is proud to be the official rehabilitation partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Nationally ranked by U.S. News and World Report. Our playbook is individualized treatment and exceptional care to get you back to living your life. Brooks has cutting-edge technology and therapy solutions in every care setting, treating sports injury, orthopedics, brain, spinal injuries, and more. Go beyond your expectations with Brooks Rehabilitation.
Federal employees keep our country going, and G.E.H.A. is proud to keep them going with health plans exclusively for them. We were started by postal employees in 1937, and today we offer all federal employees a network of 1.7 million providers and a health plan for every stage of life. That's why we've been trusted by millions of federal employees and retirees across the country since 1937. G.E.H.A. Find your federal health plan at GEHA.com.
This is the Scoreboard Show, and the Jags victorious on that board, 24-20 over the New Orleans Saints. Your play of the game presented by Coyle Fence since 1927. They've been around the block and fenced it too. We're going to go with the play. Joey Aguilar throws it to Trevor Pena, setting up the Jags at the 2-yard line after a 43-yard reception, at which point Jamari Taylor able to convert the touchdown, and Kai Stevens is standing by with Jamari right now.
Yeah, man of the day. Before we get to you, though, how was it watching that last play of the game? Were you nervous at all?
No, not really. I believed in the guys, and really it was just a hype moment at the end. So, Jabbar, he got a nice, play on it, and man, that was the seal of the game. So I was very happy for it.
You got a ton of play today, running around all over the place. What's it like with so many moving parts in the in the game because the offensive line feels like it's changing around a lot, but you were finding space no matter what.
Oh, really, man? It was just, sticking to, me playing football because I've been doing this for a long time. And, the game is much faster, but at the end of the day, it's all football. So take advantage of all your opportunities, man, and go out there and have fun.
It's preseason, but did you have a little moment today kind of running out like this is real now?
I did. But everybody asked me, I'm a type of guy, that's real humble, that's real, mellow. And everybody, they be like, do you show any emotion? And before the game, they asked me, are you nervous? I was like, nah, I'm not nervous. I've been playing this. Of course, it's, first true NFL game, preseason, man. I just, really just took advantage of it and had fun out there.
Feels like it's a hallmark of this team, but Liam Cohen always talks about if you make mistakes, kind of not letting that hamper you and bouncing back, because it wasn't a great start for the team, but then to come back and play the way you did in the second half, do you feel like you guys embodied that?
We definitely did. It was basically a mentality of, next play. Don't let the other play, dawn on you too much, and really just prepare for it within the next play and have fun, really.
What was working for you today? You feel like you had really good vision, or are they just blocking well, or a little bit of both?
I'm going to say both. But big shout out to the guys, that's up there blocking for me, the O-line, quarterbacks, receivers, tight ends. It's a real big credit to them guys because at running back, you can't see what's behind you once they block for you. And, making them, feel wanted and feel great for their blocking and all their hard work because, at the end of the day, some guys really don't, at least especially the O-line, they don't get subbed. So when you getting on them 10 to 12 play drives and, they gas, but you got other guys, receivers and tight ends exchanging out. And it's really a big shout out to them guys.
Well, congratulations. Got the touchdown and the win.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. Kai Stevens again in the Everbank Vault. Everbank Advantage You. Make the most out of your money at everbank.com/Jaguars. Coach Duffner, Jamari Taylor today. It's interesting. I think we've really noticed Amir Abdullah having an excellent training camp, right? I wonder if today William Cohen didn't say, you know what, this guy's north of 30. He doesn't need preseason. Right? We know what we've got on him. What an opportunity for a young guy in Taylor who made a lot of noise in OTAs and in minicamp, but hasn't been, getting as much buzz here in training camp to come out and have the performance he had.
Oh, tremendous. You want to take advantage of the opportunity presented, and he got it today, and he came out in a big, big way. I mean, like you said, tough yards when we needed it the most. I mean, he did it inside, outside. I was very impressed with the play of him today.
I got the 2-point conversion, and so, he responsible for a lot of points up there on the board. Now, granted, he's going up against a lot of backups, but he's getting a lot of blocking from backups as well, so all you can do is take advantage of the opportunities that you're presented here.
You control what you can control, and he did it in a big way today.
And, we talked about Trevor Pena's catch to set that up. What a good moment of redemption for Trevor right there as he dropped what would have been a walk-in touchdown from Carter Bradley. Ended up catching 3 for 58, but he's got to be breathing a lot more easily now after making that play.
Oh, for sure. He wanted that snap back that he, was right in his hands. A great throw by Carter, but to get an opportunity to come back and make the big play when we needed it again most, I thought it was exceptional. Good for him.
And for Joey Aguilar. Joey Aguilar is like, this league is easy, man. I throw him one pass. I'm averaging 43 yards per attempt right now, never mind per completion. So, good to see him have a little bit of success as well. And I know we'll talk about this throughout the course of the next hour and a half or so, but, man, Jags have really been beat up on this offensive line in training camp. So you saw Wyatt Milam and Jonah Monheim starting today on the right side of the offensive line. Chuma Adoga goes down almost immediately, Coach. He was able to get off to the side, but he was taken on a cart inside, which is never a great sign. I don't want to speculate on how significant this injury is, but the Jags really cannot afford to get hit with another one on that position.
Like I said, adversity struck in a big, big way. I mean, he got rolled on from the back side or from the back, and that's always a scary injury. And for, that to happen right away, I mean, my Lord, I'm saying, Coach had to be saying, good Lord, what else is coming at us right now? But again, that the group settled down and people rallied and did their job, and we came out of it on top.
In general, what did you make of the Jaguars' pass protection today?
I didn't think it was too bad, really. I really didn't, all things considered. And I think Grant did a nice job of mixing the game plan. They have a limited inventory with the group that was playing right now, but I thought he did a nice job, and especially in the second half, really where they played and controlled the game. And so overall, all things considered, with different groups in there, not too bad.
Yeah, we're going to hear from head coach Liam Cohen coming up here in a few more moments with Kai Stevens back at the Caesars Superdome. But, he did look at times, what am I going to do with myself here on the sidelines? He's so used to being in on it on every play. And as you talked about this week, typically when they're on defense, he's making adjustments with his team on the sideline. Just as a general rule, on either side of the ball, how big are in-game adjustments? How many can you make? You spend all week game planning. You've got this. Now you've got just a couple of minutes on the sideline or a couple of minutes at halftime. How significant are the adjustments that the coaching staff make during the game toward the eventual outcome?
Well, I'll tell you, the good coaching staffs have plans. If they do this, then we'll do this, then we'll do that. And so I know that it's very significant watching this staff operate. And I think today's experience for the coach was priceless because it gave him the opportunity with some new coaches on both sides of the ball. He's worked with them before, but to have an opportunity to listen and to input where he could and really go to both sides of the ball and listen even to the special teams, it's priceless. So great experience for him.
Yeah, great experience for Liam, great experience for Grant Udinski
tremendous.
as well, and I'm sure he feels a lot better about the way the second half went compared to the first half, man. It sometimes just hits you like that. Did you feel like the Jags came out a little flat today, or is that too difficult to tell through a television screen?
Well, it's too difficult to tell, and I don't think they did it. Like I said, they battled the entire time. I never saw any give up. I didn't see any hands up. I didn't see any of that. The mode has been attack, and they attacked all day long. Some of the plays we'd like to get back, but again, victory was in our hands, and we got it.
I know you loved in particular when Anthony Campanile went after the Saints on a 3rd and long from midfield. Instead of sitting back there, he sent the house and ended up getting the sack.
I think they had 3 sacks in the course of the day, and a lot of those were Russian coverage working together. But Coach, it showed me some, again, good aggressiveness in terms of timely pressures to make big plays and get off the field.
One guy you and I noticed on a couple of plays, he's not going to get statistically credited with it, is Wesley Williams, who's I feel has kind of had a quiet camp. Now I'm not breaking down the defensive film every day with Coach Camp, but I haven't heard his name highlighted that often, but I think he showed up with a couple of flashes in the first half.
I sure did. On the drive in the first half where they had New Orleans had a 15-play, 7-minute drive that ended in a field goal. He was really the primary guy in terms of pressures during that drive at timely moments to keep them out of the end zone from a touchdown. So I thought he did a good job. Combs did too during that series. So, a lot of guys I think showing up right now. I think that B.J. Green continues to be all over the place, had a timely fumble recovery. Abdullah has a big-time sack fumble. So a lot of guys contributed to this with big plays.
You mentioned Branson Combs. I didn't hear Ventrell's name called too often today. Ventrell Miller, Branson Combs, both started today, but they're both basically playing for one starting spot in that linebacking core. Did either one of them stand out to you?
Yeah, Combs. I think it was in the second series. In fact, on the play that Roro and I think BJ split a sack, he had real good pressure also in that on that particular play. And then later in the I think the 5th drive, he had excellent coverage. You saw him come up and make a big stick in the flat, good open field tackle on a ball thrown to the flat. So continues to show athleticism in his play.
Yeah, I think you mentioned Ruka Rororo. Yep. It's so funny. They always talk about a game of inches, right?
Oh, gosh.
So he ends up officially being credited with a sack, and then it's split between he and Danny Strigo. Okay, right. So good pressure. Gets another pressure on Zach Wilson late in the first half. Gets his hand on him, so he's probably credited with a quarterback hit for that play. He gets a pressure, but that's one that you wanted him to get that quarterback on the ground.
Oh, my gosh, absolutely. That's where those statistics can sometimes be misleading. Yeah, he gets a hit on the guy, but they get a play. So at any rate, he shows flashes. He's got good length. He's got athleticism. Again, I think he's going to help him interior rush-wise.
Yeah, and look, granted, I want to see him finish that play, get the sack. It was nice to see him get a couple of pressures though,
Absolutely.
in the first half, because that's an area that they were certainly deficient in from the interior of the defensive line last year. As we await Coach Liam Cohen, he's going to talk at the podium at the Caesars Superdome, and Kai Stevens is going to get a word with him. We'll get a quick timeout in here right now. Mike Dempsey and Mark Duffner here with you as the Jaguars win it to open up the preseason 24-20. This is Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Jaguars fans, grab your passport. Open and fund a new Everbank performance account for your chance to win the Everbank London Getaway Experience. Round trip airfare for two, hotel accommodations, and tickets to the Jaguars game in London this October. Start your journey today at everbank.com/London. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and DC 18 and older. The Everbank London Getaway Sweepstakes from June 29 through August 27. For official rules, which include alternate method of entry, prize description, odds of winning, and other details, visit everbank.com/London rules. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, NA, member FDIC.
Football and Duval. What a perfect pairing and battle cry. When it comes to a tasty tailgate, the Dailies Duval Sub delivers. It's your perfect pregame meal on Jaguars game day. My favorite, the Duval Sub. Ham, turkey, cheddar, and habanero cheese. Fixins fresh and delicious. Touchdown, taste buds. It's the best sub for any season, especially Jaguar season. The Duval, only at Dailies.
Back before Brian had a granddaughter to help take care of. Back when he was in his 20s, Brian served in the Army Special Forces and sustained brain injuries during a tour overseas. Today, Brian participates in the Haley Brain Wellness Program at UF Health, a program that helps veterans and first responders recover from traumatic brain injury. Brian was proud to serve his country, and now we're proud to serve him. UF Health. Human progress has no finish line.
Want to earn a deal on the entire Toyota lineup at the National Sales Event? Then do as I say. Great job. You just earned a deal. Lease a new 2026 Toyota Tundra SR5 for $429 a month for 36 months. Offer valid through August 31st, 2026. Well-qualified lessees with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. 5428 due at signing. No security deposit with select equipment. $350 disposition fee excludes tax tag, registration, title, and dealer fee. See dealer for details. Toyota. Let's go places.
Jaguars postgame brought to you by G.E.H.A. Government Employees Health Association. Benefits for federal employees and retirees. And the Jaguars broadcast booth presented by Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and remodeling company. Mike Dempsey and Coach Mark Duffner here in the Hyundai Studios in Jacksonville, taking a look at the Jaguars preseason opener, a 24-20 win, Coach. And this is, heightened, right? You can do a lot of things in practice. You do them in a game environment, you earn a little bit more credit with the coaching staff. Would you agree with that?
Oh, no question about it. I mean, again, when the lights go on, you want to see guys perform. You want to see production. And some of that you can't simulate in practice. And there's nothing like game speed and game situations. So when you see players perform and be productive, that's the best thing.
Yeah, and one guy that I didn't personally, and we can't hear everything. We don't know. We're not talking to every member of the coaching staff on a daily basis. But Yasir Abdullah, I feel, has been a little quiet this offseason. He wasn't quiet today, right? Nope. He showed up on special teams, but he showed up with that sack force fumble as well. And for a guy that, is trying to hang on for another season here in Jacksonville, I thought he popped today.
Mike, he was loud with his play today. That third series that you're talking about, he has a tremendous kickoff tackle. I mean, and he's been a pretty productive special teams player for him, but he's always had, I think, some application in terms of pressure on third down or as an edge rusher or maybe even an interior rusher, however Anthony would use him. But he gets a sack fumble that I think B.J. Green recovers. We get the ball, I think, on a 9-yard line. Now, we got to get touchdowns. We got a field goal, but they provided field position for the offense and points. I was real impressed with him. I think he's going to be a guy that can contribute in a lot of ways for him.
Well, look, at the opportunity is there, right? I know they love Dennis Gardeck, kind of playing that strong side, third edge rusher role, whatever you want to call it there. But Abdullah has managed to hang around here. And, Liam Cohen's talked about it. It's very plain. if you're not a starter on this football team, you have got to contribute to teams somehow to give us some value. And, in addition to showing a little pass rush, which would be first and foremost, he did that on special teams.
No question about that. And frankly, if I was coaching like Anthony does, I'd love to have this guy because he does have edge rush ability. He's got speed. He's got some change of direction. I think he can help the pressure package no matter where you apply him. So, again, a good, valuable player for him.
Jags win it 24-20. We'll take a quick timeout and come back. Kai Stevens will have head coach Liam Cohen. This is Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Federal employees keep our country going, and G.E.H.A. is proud to keep them going with health plans exclusively for them. We were started by postal employees in 1937, and today we offer all federal employees a network of 1.7 million providers and a health plan for every stage of life. That's why we've been trusted by millions of federal employees and retirees across the country since 1937. G.E.H.A. Find your federal health plan at GEHA.com.
Today, everybody knows the chant, Duval! But long before it echoed through stadiums, there was another name Jacksonville already trusted, Big Number 1 Duval Ford. For 110 years, we're proud to be Jacksonville's only family-owned Ford dealership. For generations, we've helped local families find the right vehicle at the right price, with hometown service you can count on. We've also proudly served the local businesses that help our community thrive with Big Number 1 Duval Ford Pro Elite. Visit Big Number 1 Duval Ford at 1616 Cassett Avenue or shop anytime at DuvalFord.com.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Catch epic showdowns in Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Denver. Catch big city brawls in New York, Chicago, and Dallas. And support your Jaguars in divisional clashes in Houston, Nashville, and Indianapolis. View real-time parking, security, and flight updates on flyjacks.com. Whether you stick with the play call or need an audible, they'll be your teammate every step of the way. The play clock is counting down, so book your nonstop flights today. Learn more at flyjacks.com.
A bold change. A historic development is underway for the Bold City, and the Jacksonville Jaguars and team partners are part of it. The Jaguars' First and Forward Development Partner Program highlights the significant transformative efforts made towards the city of Jacksonville. Belter, Brooks Building Solutions, Jackson Electric Supply, People's Gas, Stark Tech, Miller Electric, AECOM Hunt, and WWK, championing progress on the field and in the community. The First and Forward Program, the First Coast Forward Together. Visit Jaguars.com/forward together.
The new Smokin' Honey Melts are now at Firehouse Subs. Founded by firefighters, so when they make a new melt, they build it right. Melty, toasty, and packed with prime rib or grilled chicken breast, then drizzled with their new Smokin' Honey Chipotle sauce. Sweet, smoky, built right. It takes a Firehouse kitchen to make a melt this good. Try the new Smokin' Honey Melts today, only at Firehouse Subs at participating U.S. restaurants.
Moving an entire football organization around can be a logistical challenge. That's why the Jaguars trust Echo East Coast Transportation as their official transportation company. Whether it's getting the team to the airport, bringing in free agents for a workout, or transporting the executives to meetings, Echo East Coast provides safe, professional, and reliable service. Let them do the same for you. If you're looking for affordable prearranged transportation, call them at 904-631-5466 or go to echoeastcoast.com.
PRI Productions, the official event production company of the Jaguars, has everything you need to bring your next idea to life. Visit PRIProductions.com. Well, let's head back to New Orleans one more time. Caesars Superdome as Kai Stevens has head coach Liam Cohen.
Liam, preseason ones don't count, but it's always nice to get a win, a dramatic one. Are you glad they didn't give you the timeout?
I told Kellen at the end, I'm like, dude, why do we have to keep doing this to each other? You know, these stressful preseason games where it comes down to the last minute. But, yeah, thankful the football gods were with us and didn't give us the timeout.
I know you wanted a clean game. Didn't come out that way, but resiliency, right? We talk about that a lot, and to see that, whether individual players or the team as a whole, to bounce back in the second half. Are you happy with that?
Very, yeah. I mean, that's why football is two halves. You know, that's why it's 4 quarters, and so didn't come out playing our cleanest. You know, there was a lot of young guys getting a lot of their first exposure in the NFL. I mean, a lot of those guys that were playing, you know, there were some bright eyes for sure early on, and Struggled to pass pro a little bit, and but challenged them at halftime to respond the right way, and they came out, started off well with the first drive out of the second half, and continued to kind of get better and settle in as the game went.
Individually seeing it too with, Trevor Pena dropping a touchdown, coming back with a great catch, or Jabbar Muhammad getting called for that penalty and then making the play to end the game.
Yeah.
Is it nice to see that philosophy becoming real with your players out there?
Yeah, that's exactly what you're hunting up. Playing the next play, staying in the moment. So much of what we talk about is being where your feet are. And to see it show up for individuals and for our team in general, I thought was nice. There was not a ton of positives in the first half. And then to see the guys just say, chip away, chip away. Some individuals made some great plays, but collectively as a team was very happy with the response.
A little bit different for you today. Grant Udinski calling the plays. How was it for you? Did you try to jump in there a little bit, or how did he do? Grant did a great job. Yeah. I know the feeling of frustration at halftime that he had there, and you just come in, regroup, hope that that we have the type of people in the locker room that are going to respond the right way. And I thought he made some really nice, timely calls, and it was tough because there's some of the protection issues. You really couldn't push the ball down the field as much and do some of those things. You're trying to protect those guys up front. So, but I was pleased with the physicality. Having 118 yards rushing was good, and holding them to 56, that's positive. And we got a lot of work to do, ton to clean up, but always good to do after a win. Got one joint practice down. You got 2 more coming up. Have you been getting what you want out of it? Are you excited to have 2 more?
Absolutely. I thought it was great work for us against New Orleans here. I really appreciate Kellen Moore and his staff and the Saints for hosting us. Got really good work, and you look at times where, man, you can learn from these ops. And whether it was today, whether it was our joint practice the other day, we can learn from these ops. We have to learn from these ops in order to take the next step. And if you don't have these situations, you don't know. And so I'm pleased. I'm happy that maybe things don't always go perfect. If we were to just keep flying around and flying through these joints and winning these games easily, I don't know if that's really where we want to be either, as much as that would feel good.
All right, thanks, Coach. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Great job, and safe travels to you and the team coming back. The head coach interview, Kai Stevens with Liam Cohen, presented by G.E.H.A, Government Employees Health Association, benefits for federal employees and retirees. We've got our own coach, Mark Duffner, here. And, Coach, I wish we had a little extra cam up on you right there. Every time I'm making notes, every time you're nodding along to something Liam Cohen said, resiliency was a big theme right there that you echoed.
Without a doubt. And again, you can't replicate these snaps in these situations. To have them in a 60-minute game where things are rolling. The coaching staff, the job they did at halftime to adjust and with play call, with everything, and come out and play like they did in the second half. Are you kidding me? It's tremendous. Again, as Coach just mentioned, 56 yards rushing, 118 yards rushing by our guys. Think about the fact that, in 2 minutes, we stop them in 2 minutes before the half. They kick the field goal. The offense coming out and moving the ball like they did. A lot of real good stuff in terms of the coaching staff went through, the players went through. It's excellent.
And you know what? All these guys played in front of big crowds in college, right? But Liam Cohen just right there is telling you, look, some of them come in, you're wide-eyed. It may be the first preseason game. You may not think it's a big deal. You've probably been through this experience a bunch of times. So the first taste of NFL action like that means a lot.
Oh, Mike, it's gigantic for these guys and for the coaches too. And when you have rookies and first-year players getting a chance to do something they've dreamed about and worked hard for all their life, it's unbelievable. And so I think that, again, when I look at all the things that happened in the course of this game, sudden changes, penalties, field position flops, all these things that 2-point plays that they got through in this game with, and plus with injuries and having to overcome that, they got so much done that I'm glad that this game had the adversity it did. Like Coach said, they're going to learn. They got a lot to take advantage of and learn from both the joint practice and the game. It's awesome.
Well, and as Coach said, it's always easier after you win.
Oh, yeah.
Right? No matter what, in preseason, postseason, regular, you want to win every time you send the guys out there. All right, when we return in a moment, we've got your Kingfish Pest Control Defensive Play of the game. Also take a look at the final stats in this contest here. Won by the Jaguars 24-20. This is Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Jaguars fans, grab your passport. Open and fund a new Everbank performance account for your chance to win the Everbank London Getaway Experience. Round-trip airfare for two, hotel accommodations, and tickets to the Jaguars game in London this October. Start your journey today at everbank.com/London. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents for the United States and DC 18 and older. The Everbank London Getaway Sweepstakes from June 29 through August 27. For official rules, which include alternate method of entry, prize description, odds of winning, and other details, visit everbank.com/London rules. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, NA, member FDIC.
Accidents don't wait for you to be ready. And when they hit, we've seen insurance companies slow the game.
Let me transfer you.
Paperwork, hold music, excuses. It's the same play over and over.
There are 872 callers ahead of you. Please remain.
But at Farah & Farah, we shift the momentum by turning up the pressure with the tech, the team, and the proof to keep your case moving. Let me be clear. Farah doesn't flinch.
Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville.
It's game time, Jaguars fans. This season, feed your fandom with the Jaguars sub from Publix, the official supermarket of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow! Sink your teeth into crispy chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, melted cheddar, sweet coleslaw, and smoky barbecue mayo, all stacked on a fresh white roll. Taste the hype only at Jacksonville Publix locations. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
What's Here is a place that generations have trusted to help their kids grow up healthy and strong. What's Here are caregivers with knowledge and expertise rivaling any children's hospital in the world. What's Here is the only Level 1 pediatric trauma center in our region. What's Here is Wolfson Children's Hospital with the technology, research, and dedication to save and change countless young lives. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
All right, we continue on Jaguars Postgame presented by G.E.H.A. Mike Dempsey and Mark Duffner here with you from the Hyundai Studios in Jacksonville. Coach, got a little catching up to do there, as we're glad we could bring you back to New Orleans a few times to hear from some of the standouts of the game, and of course, head coach Liam Cohen. But time now for the Kingfish Pest Control Defensive Play of the game. We talked about it a little bit. I want to talk about it in the larger context. Yasir Abdullah comes in, gets a sack fumble. Wesley Williams had some pressure on that play as well. B.J. Green recovers it. It's the lone turnover today for the Jags. But you go back 2 years, single-digit turnovers created by this defense. And Anthony Campanile, now he had some talent to work with, but I feel like he put guys in the right place to make impact plays on defense. I don't know if you can count on getting 30-plus again, but I know every team wants to say we're hunting the football, we want to take it away. He was able to get that unit to do that last year. Is that something that can carry over into 2026?
Mike, I think it can, and I'll say the reason why is you said a lot of teams say they want to do that, and that's everybody says that, but are you committing to do it? I've watched this team practice, and they have takeaway drills, ball instruction drills, trying to get the ball off of people. They're getting 3 or 4 every practice. And so it's something that, again, they built in this contagion, if you will, to hunt the ball. And these guys are doing it. So, and that one couldn't have been at a better time in the game when we needed it, again, in this particular ball game. So these guys understand the benefit of winning the takeaway battle, getting the ball off of people, how it leads to wins, and they bought into that, and they're doing it.
All right, we're going to take a look at the final stats here momentarily with an Everbank stats check, but before we do, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Jaguars Radio Network. All right, Coach, here we go. Everbank stats check. We'll start with some team stats today, and we'll start with penalties. Too many penalties. 8 for 50. The total yardage, not terrible. I feel like there was some sloppiness, a lot of offensive line stuff going on in the first half. As a general rule of thumb, no coach is going to be happy with 8 penalties.
No, but and not at all. And again, we want to eliminate those. We don't want to get the opponent's team anything, whether it's the ball or penalties or anything like that. Now, some of that was, again, new lineups. Guys hadn't worked together with one another, and so that's growing pains that sometimes penalties are going to be a result of that. So with the lineup that we had today, again, we're not going to accept it by any way, but you can understand it. We can coach off it to fix it.
All right, let's see. The Jags had 19 first down in the game to 18 for the Saints. On third down, Jags 5 of 15. They converted both their fourth down tries. So overall, 7 out of 17 on those drive-changing type plays. And they held the Saints to only 4 of 13 as well on their own third downs. The Saints did not attempt a fourth down. Total yardage almost identical, 275 for Jacksonville, 277 for New Orleans. A couple of the particulars from some of the individuals in this game. Carter Bradley led the way at quarterback, 10 of 17 for 105 yards and a touchdown. As mentioned, Trevor Pena hangs on to another one. He would have had a couple of touchdown passes here. Also threw a pick. He was sacked 3 times out of the 4 the Jags allowed. Jags had 4 of their own for a total of 35 yards. Jamari Taylor on the ground, 22 carries for 78 yards and a score. DJ Dallas chipped in with 10 for 26. He got a lot of the early work. And Trevor Pena bouncing back with that big 43-yard reception down to the 2. Ended up leading the way for Jacksonville, 3 catches for 58 yards. C.J. Williams had 2 for 28. Also had a big drop. Chandler Brayboy had some nice special teams, had some good kickoff returns, made a good tackle on punt as well, and caught a couple for 25 yards. There's a guy, Coach, that, again, crowded wide receiver room, but Brayboy shows up when it's time to play special teams.
Making some noise, being productive right now, and that's how you're going to make the club. So, I mean, again, I give him a lot of compliments on how he did that. The other thing I wanted to mention on stats was I think we had 5 3-and-outs on defense. That's something you want to get consistent, and they're doing it right as far as that's concerned. They had a great 3rd-and-1 stop. I think it was Jelani Tavai and Danny Strigow, that had a good 3rd-and-1 stop that occurred. So a lot of positive things going on in terms of statistics and team play.
Yeah, Danny got the tackle. Jelani closed the hole, man. I mean, he closed it fast, too. You and I were talking about him. That's a good ball player. He's played a lot of years in this league and has been a really solid player. To have him available at this stage of training camp was a nice pickup.
A great pickup. I coveted him when he was coming out. Detroit signed him. I think he was a 2nd-round pick. He played in the Super Bowl with the Patriots last year. To get that guy at this time of year, and like you said, I mean, we talk about we want to reject the backs. He rejected the running back on that play, aided by Danny Strigow's play.
I love that. I'm going to use that. Reject the backs.
Reject the back.
I'm going to be using that all season long now. Jabbar Muhammad led the team with 6 solo tackles today. Let's see, sacks for the Jaguars. Brian Thomas Jr., the other Brian Thomas Jr.
With a Y.
Late. It was very fun to have Josh Hines Allen kind of talk about that on the broadcast, about how he's setting him up for, to try this move and come with this counter. And he almost got him on the very next drive, but he got one later in the game. Yasir Abdullah with the sack. A fumble. Albert Regis had a big one, 14-yarder right there that kind of flipped the field. Yep. And then Rook and Danny Strigow got credited for a half sack each.
Yeah, so. We wanted to gain and not just pressures on the quarterback and hits. We wanted sacks. You got 4 today. We get 4 in the course of the season every game. We'll be in pretty good shape in terms of that goal. That's for sure.
We will take that. They count a lot more in the regular season. There's no doubt about that. Well, coming up next, Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting. Coach Duff gets to vote for the first time, and he's in the Fred Taylor seat, ladies and gentlemen. We'll explain what that means when we come back, although I think this is going to be pretty clearly one-sided in where the voting is going to go. Final score, the Jags win it 24-20 over the Saints. This is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Federal employees keep our country going, and G.E.H.A. is proud to keep them going with health plans exclusively for them. We were started by postal employees in 1937, and today we offer all federal employees a network of 1.7 million providers and a health plan for every stage of life. That's why we've been trusted by millions of federal employees and retirees across the country since 1937. G.E.H.A. Find your federal health plan at GEHA.com.
Hey Jaguar fans, get next level performance with Renewal by Andersen Replacement Windows and Doors. Right now, score 20% off your custom window and door replacement project, plus 12 months special financing. Defend your home against Florida weather with our Acclaim Impact Windows, built for the storm, backed by the Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free design consultation and put a winning team on your side. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you ready for your next adventure? Then it's time to visit Ride Now Jacksonville and Ride Now Beach Boulevard. From motorcycles and side-by-sides to ATVs, boats, and personal watercraft, Ride Now has everything you need for the road, trail, and water. With top brands, great financing options, and a huge selection of parts, apparel, and accessories, there's never been a better time to ride. Visit Ride Now Jacksonville or Ride Now Beach Boulevard today and start your next adventure with Ride Now Power Sports.
RingCentral's AI receptionist uses voice AI to answer on the first ring, so you'll never miss a call again. In just a few minutes, you can personalize your own AI receptionist to answer questions, route calls, schedule appointments, and even send texts in multiple languages. Plus, it's easy to scale. Create unlimited AI receptionists across any phone system. It's all powered by one reliable platform for effortless AI communications. See for yourself at ringcentral.com. RingCentral, voice of your business.
Jaguars Postgame brought to you by G.E.H.A. Government Employees Health Association. Benefits for federal employees and retirees. Well, Mike Dempsey and Mark Duffner here with you. And Coach Duff, it's a big moment for you, okay? You get to step into the Fred Taylor role, which people who have listened in recent years to the Jaguars postgame know this. Typically, Fred will be with us, and he'll be with us throughout the regular season this year. And in years past, it's been J.P. Shadrick. Pour one out for our guy. But going forward, Brian Sexton will be in that role. And what we've always done is myself and J.P. or myself and Brian, we each get a vote. And Freddie T, being the legend that he is, gets a vote and a half. That way, if we all pick a different player, then his vote is the deciding vote. Now, I don't think we're going to have that issue today. But you are the coach emeritus here and all that stuff. Yeah. So let's bring in Tony Smith. Tony, we want to make sure we have all the bells and whistles for Coach Duffner's first post game. Sure. Tony, I have not conferred with you. Where would you like to go with your player of the game vote?
Yeah, I think there are a couple of pretty good options here, but ultimately I'll go with Jabbar Muhammad, who made the play right at the end of the game to lock it down. Had a bit of an up and down kind of final few moments of the game, but came through on the final play of the game there for the Jaguars to lock down the victory.
All right, Jabbar Muhammad getting a vote from Tony here. Coach, I'm going to go with Jamari Taylor. 22 carries, 78 yards, tough yards on the ground, had a long of 13 today, scored the touchdown, also had the 2-point conversion play in this game, and just basically carry the offensive load for this team. So a vote for Muhammad, a vote for Taylor. You cast the deciding ballot, sir.
Well, first of all, I appreciate you letting me try to step in the role for Fred Taylor. I couldn't do anything that Fred Taylor could do, let alone this, for sure. So, again, what a great player, and tremendous statesman for the Jaguars. But I'm going to go with Jamari Taylor also. I think that the effort that he had in this game, the production he had, again, especially running the ball all across the field in the second half was outstanding. Now, Tony, I like your selection too. When you get six tackles, I think he had 2 tackles for loss, the big pass broken up at the end. In terms of Jabbar Muhammad, a good pick right there, and a guy that I like a lot in terms of the play he's had and the camp he's had, but I'm going to go with Taylor.
Do you feel like Muhammad has carried that momentum over? I mean, he had a lot of it in OTAs and minicamp. Has he maintained that level for you in training camp?
He has. I have seen him, show up, not every practice and with big production, but he's made noise in in the course of the camp, and again today, I just like the way he plays. He's an aggressive player. He's a good tackler. He had a couple good physical hits in this game. You don't see that oftentimes from a cornerback, and this guy's not afraid to get dirty and to play physical, which is part of the mantra of their defense.
Which makes a linebackers coach by trade very, very happy to come up and see somebody get stuck from one of those defensive backs. Hey, folks, from the backyard to the beaches, the Ford F-150 with available Pro Power on board gives you the power of a mobile generator. Ford, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. See your local Ford dealer today. When we return in a moment, the UF Health Injury Report. Jaguars win it 24-20 over the New Orleans Saints. This is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Federal employees keep our country going, and G.E.H.A. is proud to keep them going with health plans exclusively for them. We were started by postal employees in 1937, and today we offer all federal employees a network of 1.7 million providers and a health plan for every stage of life. That's why we've been trusted by millions of federal employees and retirees across the country since 1937. G.E.H.A. Find your federal health plan at GEHA.com.
It's here that a tiny newborn has the heart surgery needed to save her life. It's here that a first grader learns to speak clearly and confidently. It's here that a 12-year-old athlete builds the strength to run full speed again. It's here at Wolfson Children's Hospital that answers are found, courage is shown, and odds are beaten every day. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
Frank Frangie here for Coyle & Son Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports memories. Remember the 2017 AFC Championship game when Miles Jack wasn't down? Do you know what else isn't down? Fences installed by Coyle & Sons. Their fences have been standing tall here in Jacksonville for nearly a century. If you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons today at 904-356-4821 or visit CoyleJacks.com. That's C-O-Y-L-E Jacks.com. CoyleJacks.com.
Duval! Football and Duval. What a perfect pairing and battle cry. When it comes to a tasty tailgate, the Daily's Duval Sub delivers. It's your perfect pregame meal on Jaguars game day. My favorite, the Duval Sub. Ham, turkey, cheddar, and habanero cheese. Fixins fresh and delicious. Touchdown, taste buds. It's the best sub for any season, especially Jaguar season. The Duval, only at Daily's.
Ever see someone walking with a weighted pack around Jacksonville? That's rucking, with an R, moving with weight on your back. It builds strength, endurance, and crushes calories. After my wife and I served post 9/11, we started Go Ruck, a family business rooted in service and community, proud to call Jack's home. Go Ruck, built in Jacksonville, rucking everywhere in the world. Check out our gear at GoRuck.com. That's GORUCK.com.
Jaguars fans, grab your passport. Open and fund a new Everbank performance account for your chance to win the Everbank London Getaway Experience. Round trip airfare for two, hotel accommodations, and tickets to the Jaguars game in London this October. Start your journey today at everbank.com/London. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and DC 18 and older. The Everbank London Getaway Sweepstakes from June 29 through August 27. For official rules, which include alternate method of entry, prize description, odds of winning, and other details, visit everbank.com/London rules. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, NA, member FDIC.
Jaguars postgame presented by G.E.H.A. Mike Dempsey and the coach Mark Duffner here with you from the Hyundai Studios. Time now, coach, for the injury report presented by UF Health, the official healthcare partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know if you could have designed a much worse injury situation early on in this football game. When it just happens this way sometimes, where a particular position group seems to get it, and there's no rhyme or reason to it, but the Jags have had a lot of banged-up offensive linemen. Fortunately today, we were able to see Emmanuel Pregnon get out there. So, some of these guys getting a little bit healthier, but Chuma Edoga goes down early. And, Coach, you're talking about Cole Van Lanen is at this point, your presumptive starting right tackle because they flipped Anton to the left, it appears. Walker Little would be his primary backup. Maybe it'd be Milam beyond that, but it could also be Milam at guard and Udoka at tackle, and he goes down right off the bat, makes his way to the sideline, gets carted in, and you fear for the worst, but you hope for the best here.
Oh, absolutely. And again, couldn't have been a worse situation in terms of we're already as thin as we possibly can be at offensive tackle, and then bingo, like you said, we have this injury to Udoka. So kudos to the offensive line, though, when you think about the mix and match and the cross-training that they've done here in training camp, where they've had to have multiple lineups, if you will, to get through this game in a really a disadvantaged situation in terms of numbers at that spot.
And, of course, Jalen Husky, I think he hurt his left arm. He was grabbing it. He went down on he came off his guy with a little, back-end safety help. It might have been Ballantyne lost his man a little bit. But either way, Husky makes the tackle, goes down. But the good news is he came back in the game. So looks like it was one he could shake off.
Yeah, he showed up, and he showed up both as a safety and in the special teams. I think he made a kickoff tackle late in the first quarter, but he also on the very first, that big breakout, he ran the guy down to keep him from scoring on the 86-yard kickoff return. So I liked what I saw at Jalen Husky. He competed well. He showed physicality. He showed some hitting ability. Praise the Lord that he's going to be okay.
Yeah, let's hope for the best. And for all those offensive linemen that are on the mend right now for the Jacksonville Jaguars, we could use them back as quickly as possible. All right, up next, we'll preview what next week holds in the preseason as the Jaguars knock off the Saints 24-20. This is Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Jaguars fans, grab your passport. Open and fund a new Everbank performance account for your chance to win the Everbank London Getaway Experience. Round-trip airfare for two, hotel accommodations, and tickets to the Jaguars game in London this October. Start your journey today at everbank.com/London. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. The Everbank London Getaway Sweepstakes from June 29 through August 27. For official rules, which include alternate method of entry, prize description, odds of winning, and other details, visit everbank.com/London rules. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, N.A., member FDIC.
Want to earn a deal on the entire Toyota lineup at the national sales event? Then do as I say. Great job. You just earned a deal. Lease a new 2026 Toyota Tundra SR5 for $429 a month for 36 months. Offer valid through August 31st, 2026. Well-qualified lessees with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. 5428 due at signing. No security deposit with select equipment. $350 disposition fee excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fee. See dealer for details. Toyota. Let's go places.
My daughter Alyssa was in a terrible car accident. She had to be airlifted to the hospital. Her ankle was smashed. Her bones were broken beyond repair. Her doctors were worried they might have to amputate, but Alyssa was a candidate for a new innovation to save her foot. They 3D printed a new ankle. She'd tell you about it, but she's out walking on the beach.
UF Health doctors saved Alyssa's foot with a custom chromium alloy 3D printed ankle bone. UF Health. Human progress has no finish line.
Accidents don't wait for you to be ready. And when they hit, we've seen insurance companies slow the game.
Let me transfer you.
Paperwork, hold music, excuses. It's the same play over and over.
There are 872 callers ahead of you. Please remain.
But at Farah & Farah, we shift the momentum by turning up the pressure with the tech, the team, and the proof to keep your case moving. Let me be clear. Farah doesn't flinch.
Farah and Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville.
Jaguars Postgame brought to you by G.E.H.A. Government Employees Health Association. Benefits for federal employees and retirees. From the Hyundai Studios, I'm Mike Dempsey along with Coach Mark Duffner. Duff, we survived preseason week 1, and knock on wood, most of the guys survived healthy as well. And so this week, we're back at the bank, right? We got the Carolina Panthers coming in, get another joint practice, and I would imagine very similar kind of flow to what we had against the New Orleans Saints. If Liam Cohen can get the majority of the work he wants to get done in that joint practice, then we're probably going to see a similar situation in terms of holding a lot of starters back on Friday night.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he decides on that as far as that's concerned. So I saw just today where Tampa Bay, for example, has already announced for their second preseason game, their starters are going to play, and they're going to play maybe into the second quarter.
Okay.
And so teams have different ways of structuring. I like the way that these joint practices, the way Coach Cohen and his staff are putting them together. They're getting quality work, controlled quality work, for the most part, healthy work with their ball club, and I think it's hard to duplicate that. So I think that I like the way he's going into this. It'll be interesting to see what he decides on that, but I have confidence in his decisions.
All right, well, Jags and the Carolina Panthers will kick it off at 7:30 Friday night here in Jacksonville at Everbank. If you're interested in tickets, 633-2000, or stop by Jaguars.com. For those of us on our flagship station, 1010XL here in Jacksonville, stick around. We've got the Scoreboard Show coming up next with Coach Mark Duffner and myself, Mike Dempsey. For those on the network outside of Jacksonville, join us on Jaguars.com or the Jaguars YouTube channel. Jaguars win it 24-20 for Coach Duffner, Tony Smith, Donna Murphy, Linda Fortunato, and my man Max Hockman, the manager of broadcasting and production of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Thanks for tuning in as the Jags win their preseason opener, 24-20 the final over the Saints on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Welcome to the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Brian Sexton, Mike Dempsey, and Bucky Brooks will take a look at today's game and take a look at the rest of the league. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Farrah and Farrah, Whataburger, the University of Florida, and by Everbank. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show starts right now.
Scoreboard. That one's for J.P. Shadrick right there. That would always be the way we'd open it up after a Jaguar victory. Scoreboard, guys. Look, it's preseason, but as Liam Cohen said, you always want to win. Anytime you're going out there and competing. Mike Dempsey and Coach Mark Duffner here with you on the Scoreboard Show on 1010XL. Glad that you are sticking around with us here on Jaguars Postgame. And, Coach, a tale of two halves today, right? I got punched in the mouth very early, a couple of times, and then they settled down, and whatever kind of elixir they used at halftime, it worked, and they shut out the Saints in the second half.
Without a doubt. And again, that credit goes to the team, goes to coaches, everybody. I mean, they responded. I mean, that's what you have to do. They responded in an aggressive way and a positive way. I think good adjustments by the coaching staff at halftime. You saw a tale of two halves. Well done.
Yeah, and what for you is the message when you're down like that, and you've been in these preseason environments, right? I mean, like, everybody is going as hard as they can to try to impress, try to make the team, but you get into kind of a team situation where you're down. How do you keep the focus on the team aspect of it as opposed to, hey, man, we're down, but I'm still going to go out there and show off my best self?
Yeah, I think that really everybody had to just settle down. Anytime you start the season, especially with a lot of young guys that were playing based on this, the joint practice plan, everybody's got to take a deep breath, settle down, and trust your eyes, trust your training, trust the rules of your position, your techniques, and go out and perform like you've been doing in practice, like you've worked hard to do. Repetition's what's going to be the key, and take that and turn it into execution.
Let's talk here about the backup quarterback situation, right? And you could probably say this about almost every team in the National Football League. If the starter goes down, it's going to be big trouble, with the exception of a handful of spots. And look, obviously, Trevor Lawrence is several cuts above anybody else, and you would expect that. I mean, he's their franchise quarterback. Nick Mullins, I don't think has been spectacular in camp. Came out today. I mean, it's pretty evident. It's hard for him to drive the ball, right? He doesn't have the zip even of a Carter Bradley on the football. 3 of 7 today for 33 yards. This is not ideal conditions, right? When you get one of your linemen going down right away.
Oh, yeah.
He threw the interception, but what did you see from Mullins, and what have you seen from him throughout training camp?
I've seen some good days, some good throws. I've seen kind of inconsistent play. Now, I've coached against him when he was with the 49ers, and I've seen good play out of him. He's just kind of been inconsistent. We need his best, and we need his best in terms of leadership. We need his best in terms of decision-making as time goes on, and I'm certain that he's a highly competitive guy. He's going to come forth with that. But he's been a little bit too inconsistent in some areas, and so I think that the door is open for these backups, and that's what you want.
Well, and that's the thing. I think Carter Bradley has some physical gifts that Nick Mullins can't match right now, but he doesn't have the experience. And I think that was one of the big things that the Jaguars wanted last year, was a guy who knew the offense that they were going to be installing. And they could have a guy in the quarterback room that Trevor could turn to and say, hey, in this circumstance, what are you seeing? What should I be looking for? Those kind of things. Now that Trevor's been in the system for a year and looks comfortable going through his second off season with Liam Cohen, are we looking more now for maybe a developmental guy behind Trevor Lawrence?
Again, you can never replace experience, and certainly the experience that Nick's got is very, very valuable, just as you mentioned very well for the viewers here or the listeners here. But yeah, I mean, really, I like what I saw out of Carter. He's got good length. He's a smart player. He's got a heck of an arm. And don't count out Aguilar. I mean, I've liked what I've seen in him in training camp at times, and also in the OTAs. I mean, he can run. He's strong. He's a big guy. He can make all the throws. I think it was a great move for him to come here as an undrafted player and to learn from Liam Cohen and what he's done with quarterbacks. So I look forward to seeing, how this backup quarterback competition is going to end up.
They say you're sometimes better off being an undrafted free agent than being, say, a seventh-round pick.
There's no doubt. I mean, he had a choice to go wherever he wanted to, and he made the right choice. Coming here to learn from Liam Cohen, what he's done with Trevor, what he did with Baker Mayfield. I mean, come on. I mean, that was a brilliant move by him. It's going to help him.
And you really, if I'm Joey Aguilar, I mean, who's to say? I don't know what's in the thought process of the coaching staff, but I'm just trying to put myself in their position. If it does become a competition, I think they feel more comfortable with Carter Bradley compared to Joey Aguilar, who's just getting his toe wet in the National Football League. But if that's the case, like if Mullins is the backup, I think Carter Bradley's the guy you want to get on the practice squad. But if Bradley can win the backup job, then Joey Aguilar is looking at like, hey, man, there may be a chance for me to hang around and continue to learn in this environment.
No question about that. And all I heard last season as the season was going on, how well Carter Bradley did on the practice squad, running the scout team offense, the opponent's offense against the defense. He was making plays and making throws all over the place. So that's a coveted position for a young player, especially a quarterback, to be in that practice squad and run the look team. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all sorts out. You made a great point, Mike, when you said that, now Trevor's, and you can see it in his play and practice and everything else, his confidence level, his comfort with the offense, his ownership of the offense, his decision-making, getting the ball out quick, everything across the board. Now that experienced backup player maybe is not quite as important.
All right, we're going to look at a lot more aspects of this 24-20 win by the Jags preseason week 1. And, by the time we hit the regular season against Cleveland, the win-loss record disappears and it doesn't really matter. But I also want to look at some big-picture Jaguar issues that are going on involving some players who didn't suit up today. And we'll do that as we go along. Mike Dempsey and Coach Mark Duffner. So stick around. 24-20, Jaguars knock off the Saints in New Orleans. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Frank Frangie here for Coyle & Son Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports memories. Remember the 2017 AFC Championship game when Miles Jack wasn't down? Do you know what else isn't down? Fences installed by Coyle & Sons. Their fences have been standing tall here in Jacksonville for nearly a century. If you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons today at 904-356-4821 or visit CoyleJacks.com. That's C-O-Y-L-E Jacks.com. CoyleJacks.com.
Brooks Rehabilitation is proud to be the official rehabilitation partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Nationally ranked by U.S. News and World Report. Our playbook is individualized treatment and exceptional care to get you back to living your life. Brooks has cutting-edge technology and therapy solutions in every care setting, treating sports injury, orthopedics, brain, spinal injuries, and more. Go beyond your expectations with Brooks Rehabilitation.
A bold change. A historic development is underway for the Bold City, and the Jacksonville Jaguars and team partners are part of it. The Jaguars' First and Forward Development Partner Program highlights the significant transformative efforts made towards the city of Jacksonville. Belter, Brooks Building Solutions, Jackson Electric Supply, People's Gas, Start Tech, Miller Electric, AECOM Hunt, and WWGA, championing progress on the field and in the community. The First and Forward Program, the First Coast Forward Together. Visit Jaguars.com/forward together.
Is your organization ready to tackle its toughest challenges? For more than 30 years, CSI Companies has partnered with healthcare and technology organizations nationwide. From consulting on strategic projects to staff augmentation and workforce solutions, they help organizations navigate complex challenges with confidence. Learn more at CSICompanies.com. That's CSICompanies.com.
All right, Jacksonville, listen up. When your AC quits in the Florida heat, who do you call? When the power goes out in the middle of the night, who do you call? When your water heater floods in the garage, who do you call?
Call the Donovan brothers.
Donovan Air, Electric, and Plumbing. Call 904-270-COOL. That's 904-270-COOL.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Brought to you by FDOT.
We continue along here on the Scoreboard Show. Jaguars have it over the Saints on the scoreboard, 24-20, holding off a furious Saints rally late in this game here to hang on for the victory. And yeah, they're playing against a lot of guys who won't be in the National Football League, but some of the guys that led the Jags to victory won't be on at least a 53-man roster. Hunter Deckers tried to bring the Saints back to victory, but the Jags defense held on just long enough. Your play of the game presented by Coil Fence since 1927. They've been around the block, and Fence did too, Coach. We talked about it a few times. In fact, we talked about some of the big plays. The play of the game for us was Yasir Abdullah with the strip sack, because turnovers are so big. You win the turnover battle, which they didn't, by the way, but you're going to win most games in the NFL.
And this team understands that. You can't get them unless you try. I see them at practice, constantly working at stripping the ball, taking shots on the ball, scooping, scoring. Those are habits that are winning habits, and this team's doing it in practice.
You know, we also highlighted the Trevor Pena 43-yard catch, which was also a resilient moment for him after a drop in the would-be touchdown that set up the Jamari Taylor touchdown and eventually led the Jags to winning this football game. But I asked you on the break, is there another play that you'd like to highlight? And you said, man, this is not sexy, but 3rd and 1, the defense getting a stop. And I'm like, this is beautiful, because, you know, I'm attracted to big, flashy offensive plays. Most people are, right? Sure. But from a coach's perspective, you got to eat that for breakfast, man. If you're getting up there, you got the number 1 run defense in the league coming back. Here's a situation for the Saints to continue a drive, and the defense wasn't having it.
Oh, yeah, and 3rd and 1s, 4th and 1s, that's tough sledding for the defensive football team. I mean, you don't want to be in that situation, but you want to win those situations every opportunity you got. They got it in this game plan, and they made a great play to get off the field. So, I mean, I can't, again, that experience, they've already got that one as a good one. That's what we are. We can stop them on 3rd and 1. So I thought it was terrific.
Yeah, Jags weren't great themselves offensively on 3rd down, but they did convert their 2 4th down attempts. But defensively, very good, holding the Saints to only 4 conversions on 13 tries.
Again, 3rd down defense I thought was good. Red zone defense was good. They had 2 shots in the 2 minute. They gave up a field goal before the half. They get them stopped at the end of the game. I mean, a lot of situations that they gained on and did a great job with. They gave field position, so I think a lot of positives.
All right, the Jaguars Scoreboard Show presented by Everbank. Advantage you. Make the most out of your money at everbank.com/Jaguars. We'll step away for a moment. When Coach Duff and I come back, let's talk about some other players that didn't suit up today and what's been going on in training camp with them, with an eye towards the 2026 regular season. The Jaguars win it today, 24-20 in New Orleans. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Today, everybody knows the chant. Duval!
But long before it echoed through stadiums, there was another name Jacksonville already trusted. Big number 1 Duval Ford. For 110 years, we're proud to be Jacksonville's only family-owned Ford dealership. For generations, we've helped local families find the right vehicle at the right price, with hometown service you can count on. We've also proudly served the local businesses that help our community thrive with Big number 1 Duval Ford Pro Elite. Visit Big number 1 Duval Ford at 1616 Cassett Avenue or shop anytime at duvalford.com.
Last season put the Jaguars among the elite, and expectations are high. That's why Echo East Coast Transportation is the perfect match as the official transportation provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Elite service and exceeding expectations at every turn, with professional drivers providing safe and affordable convenience. I'm Sam Kavaris. If you're looking for prearranged transportation, call them at 904-631-5466 like I have for more than 30 years, or go to echoeastcoast.com.
The new Smokin' Honey Melts are now at Firehouse Subs. Founded by firefighters, so when they make a new melt, they build it right. Melty, toasty, and packed with prime rib or grilled chicken breast, then drizzled with their new Smokin' Honey Chipotle sauce. Sweet, smoky, built right. It takes a Firehouse kitchen to make a melt this good. Try the new Smokin' Honey Melts today, only at Firehouse Subs at participating U.S. restaurants.
Hey Jaguar fans, get next level performance with Renewal by Andersen Replacement Windows and Doors. Right now, score 20% off your custom window and door replacement project, plus 12 months special financing. Defend your home against Florida weather with our Acclaim Impact Windows, built for the storm, backed by the Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free design consultation and put a winning team on your side. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you ready for your next adventure? Then it's time to visit Ride Now Jacksonville and Ride Now Beach Boulevard. From motorcycles and side-by-sides to ATVs, boats, and personal watercraft, Ride Now has everything you need for the road, trail, and water. With top brands, great financing options, and a huge selection of parts, apparel, and accessories, there's never been a better time to ride. Visit Ride Now Jacksonville or Ride Now Beach Boulevard today and start your next adventure with Ride Now Power Sports.
Back before Brian had a granddaughter to help take care of. Back when he was in his 20s. Brian served in the Army Special Forces and sustained brain injuries during a tour overseas. Today, Brian participates in the Haley Brain Wellness Program at UF Health, a program that helps veterans and first responders recover from traumatic brain injury. Brian was proud to serve his country, and now we're proud to serve him. UF Health. Human progress has no finish line.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Mike Dempsey, Mark Duffner from the Hyundai Studios back here in Jacksonville as the Jags on the road in New Orleans come away with their first victory of the preseason. They trailed it 20-6 at the half and came roaring back to win it 24-20. Always better to win, Coach, than not. If you're keeping score, you'd rather have more points than the other guy.
Yeah, we're in it to win it.
Absolutely.
Again, I thought it was great. Second half shutout, good adjustments made. A team that battled all the way for 60 minutes. Excellent work.
And now, look, we understand. The Saints aren't playing their frontline guys. Jags are not playing their frontline guys. But so let's talk about one frontline guy in particular, okay? And I'm going to start by mentioning another one. The guy who was getting all the buzz early this offseason, Brian Thomas, right? And well-deserved.
Well-deserved.
Terrific OTAs, refreshed mental attitude. The chemistry is being rebuilt. The plague of drops seem to have disappeared, right? He's flashing that athleticism. We're like, all right, we're going to get this guy back who we had in his rookie season when he was a 1,200-yard receiver. He carried that into minicamp, and he's had a good training camp as well.
Sure has.
But only a notch below that, if that, at OTAs and minicamp. Here's Parker Washington just doing what he does. He had a great training camp last year. And you heard Liam Cohen talk about it even this week. Like, until Parker and Antonio Johnson, we thought they were good players, but until we needed them for larger roles, we didn't know maybe how good they were. Then we found out in the second half of the year with Parker. He has been outstanding every day. I've seen him out there in camp. To me, he's been the entire best player on this roster. Now, it doesn't mean he's the most valuable. The quarterback's going to be the more valuable guy, but just where Parker Washington started from as a 6th-round pick to where he is now, how impressed have you been with the rise?
Immensely. I mean, I'm with you. It's unbelievable. Every day out here, he's made big plays. I mean, and it seemingly the first time they get in team period, there's a bomb going off, and it's number 11 with a big play.
Every single first play of team.
Yeah,
Trevor's looking at Parker almost every time.
Almost every time, and he comes through with the big play. Time and time again. You talk about consistent big plays. This guy's got it all over him. And here's what I like about him. He's out there early. He's out there late. He's catching punts. He's not doing too much talking. All he's doing is making plays. He's a play-making son of a gun, and I just love the competitiveness and intensity he displays.
I wish we were on a podcast right now because you would not have said a play-making son of a gun. I'm pretty sure he would have been a little more full-throated on that.
Well, I'm trying to be upfront and Christian.
We're keeping it
That's correct.
good. It's a family program here on 1010XL.
Yes,
but in all seriousness, you're right. We've interviewed a bunch of guys throughout training camp. They all say, can't beat Parker in the building. Just can't beat him in the building. He's here at 5 a.m. every day. He's got tree trunk legs. He is just built like an absolute Mack truck out there.
He is. I look at him. He's got legs like a running back, and that's why he's so successful. Doing the punt returns and the returns that he does. I mean, the guy can do everything. I see him jump. He's making plays that guys that are 6'4" are making, and it's the want to. It's the athleticism. It's the spring.
How does a 5'10" receiver have the 4th most contested catches in the National Football League?
Yeah, you would say there's no chance, but he does it because the want to, the athleticism, and just playmaking ability.
I mean, and it's not fluky.
No, not even close. I mean, the weapons that we have, and I do want to say a little something about BTJ. I think he's on a mission. I'm proud of this kid and the way he's come back. I think he's got a little chip, or not, I don't know if a chip, but he's just motivated right now to get better, and that's what it comes down to. He had a little bit of a slump, or whatever you want to call it, last year. I don't see it right now. When I came here last year around this time, he was the talk, much like we're talking right now about Parker Washington, and he could have responded a lot of different ways. He's responded in a big, big way. But now you look at him, you look at Jacoby, you look at if they wind up using Hunter over there, plus, my God, the defense. Who you gonna defend? If you drop double one, you got this other guy. I mean, it's nightmarish for the defense.
Right, you got Brenton Strange obviously in the mix.
Oh,
we could go on and on, with
the
rookie receivers and all that. But so here's Parker Washington. Playing himself into, let's say, a better economic class in the National Football League based on his performance, right? Yet you see hold-ins in the NFL, and I don't know why they're allowed, but they do. They let them show up to camp and not participate because they're going to not do anything until they get their deal done. Parker's like, man, I'm going to go out here and ball and let the chips fall where they may. And, so here we are, Coach. I don't know what they're offering him. I don't know what Parker's looking for, but clearly they haven't met at that price point yet. I can't imagine that number's going down for Parker, though.
No, I think that the longer it goes, it's certainly in his court, in his corner, if you will. I've lit some candles in church hoping we get this deal done. I mean it sincerely. I mean, the value that he brings to this team, what you just said, the way he's handled it, he's not talking about it. All he does is work his tail off. Again, first in, last out. After practice. Little things. I watch him all over the place. I said the guy's everywhere, and that's the kind of guy you want. And that's the guy I would no way I would let him get away from here.
Well, I'm hopeful, and I know Jaguar fans are as well, that they'll get something done with Parker sooner rather than later.
Correct.
Look, they've expressed their desire to do that. James Gladstone said very early in the offseason, we want to get Trayvon done. They got it done. We want to get Strange done. They got it done. We want to get Parker done. And I'm sure that they're working behind the scenes to make that happen.
I agree with you, Mike, and I've got a lot of confidence what I've seen James Gladstone and his staff do. I mean, they don't sit on their hands at all. I mean, look at the additions. Thank God we got Mustafa a couple weeks ago. He started to played most of the game at center. And then in all these additions, Jelani Tavai, the linebacker, I mean, they don't sit back. They're bringing in guys. And if you are productive, you're going to play here, whether you're an undrafted rookie or you're a veteran. And I mean, the pickup of, we can go on and on. Jacoby Myers, all these things that have had positive impact on this ball club. Excellent work.
Well, I'll say this as well, that, from the Jags standpoint, you can't pay everybody. No. And you do have to have a price point. And now sometimes you'll exceed that, if a guy means a little extra to the team. But you can't be fiscally just throwing around any number that anybody wants. And I've had people say that pay Parker, whatever. Well, you can't do that.
Right.
And so eventually, like we saw this year, Devin Lloyd walked, Travis Etienne walked, and those were calculated moves. They felt like they had guys in the pipeline. They've got to weigh, hey, how good does C.J. Williams, how good does Josh Cameron look? Could we get by? But also the way the contracts are structured, Brian Thomas not even eligible for one till next year, and then he'll still be under contract for his 4th year. You pick up the 5th-year option. You can push that decision a little further off. Jacoby's on a 3-year deal that starts now. I think there's a sweet spot somewhere in there where they can stack all these deals and not have it be too prohibitive on the salary cap.
Yeah, and I hope that sweet spot is teal. I mean, I really, really do, because I just think they've done an excellent job of player acquisition, player development. As you just mentioned, Antonio Johnson and Parker Washington, Devin Lloyd, throw them in there, guys that, start off a year ago, you weren't sure how they were going to be. Wow.
Had the best years of their career
without
in a Jaguar uniform.
Without a doubt. And that's kind of the MO of this. Come to Jacksonville, that's what's going to happen to you. They got numerous examples that they can throw out there to people, so it's hard to beat.
It's going to happen again, though, because as we know, they didn't go out and just splash money around in free agency. So internal development is part of at least the 2026 plan.
Yeah, and I think really that's what all clubs are really supposed to do. That's what their job is, and they're doing it.
Draft and develop.
They're not just, okay, let's bring this guy and it just revolving door. I like the way they're developing players here.
All right, last one on the Parker front here. I know exactly where I stand on this, so without setting you up, do you want to see him continue as the primary punt returner for this season?
Yeah. Yes, I do, because I just think the guy's got a real gift as far as that's concerned. I mean, I think he had 2 for touchdowns last year.
And had another one called back.
Yeah. And so let's talk about the facts. He's gifted in that area, so yes, I do. That's going to help us win. Do I want to put him out there for possibility of more injury? No, I don't. But, I mean, heck, he's one of our best players. Let's get him out there.
I am 100% in agreement with that point of view. I mean, in the end, really, when you factor in the fair catches, you're probably talking about a couple of returns a game, right? And if you're wondering about the wear and tear, well, look, they're at least 4 deep with quality receivers.
There you go.
And so you can, all right, so you take one back 40 yards, we'll give you a couple of plays off, Parker. That's just fine.
Well, and what you just said a minute ago is right, that we can't get the ball to everybody all the time. So we've got a lot of weapons out there, but one of his ways to contribute is going to be catching punts. It's like catching passes, in other words. And by the way, I think sometimes he's got a gift of vision and reading blocks. We've seen him. My gosh, he's made people miss. So I would keep that guy in there. I think Keith Farwell would like that also. But that's how our team's good. We were in the top 10 in scoring defense, top 10 in scoring offense, and ranked at the very top in terms of special teams. This team's got a lot of units right now. I don't think another team can say that they've got those kind of stats.
We hope Parker's a Jaguar for a long time. We'll see what comes out in the wash. So we know this. As long as he's here, he's giving you everything he absolutely has. Folks, the Jaguars broadcast booth presented by Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and remodeling company with Coach Mark Duffner. I'm Mike Dempsey. Jaguars knock off the Saints 24-20. When we return in a moment, we're going to your neck of the woods, the linebacker room, Coach. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
It's game time, Jaguars fans. This season, feed your fandom with the Jaguars sub from Publix, the official supermarket of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow! Sink your teeth into crispy chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, melted cheddar, sweet coleslaw, and smoky barbecue mayo, all stacked on a fresh white roll. Taste the hype only at Jacksonville Publix locations. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
What's Here is a place that generations have trusted to help their kids grow up healthy and strong. What's Here are caregivers with knowledge and expertise rivaling any children's hospital in the world. What's Here is the only Level 1 pediatric trauma center in our region. What's here is Wolfson Children's Hospital, with the technology, research, and dedication to save and change countless young lives. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Catch epic showdowns in Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Denver. Catch big city brawls in New York, Chicago, and Dallas. And support your Jaguars in divisional clashes in Houston, Nashville, and Indianapolis. View real-time parking, security, and flight updates on flyjax.com. Whether you stick with the play call or need an audible, they'll be your teammate every step of the way. The play clock is counting down, so book your nonstop flights today. Learn more at flyjax.com.
Plumbing problem? Septic issue? AC not keeping up? If something's not working in your home or business, don't wait. Call Duck Duck Rooter right now. 3 expert teams, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning, ready to fix the problem. Get $50 off any service of $225 or more. Don't wait for a small issue to turn into a major repair. Call now, get it handled, move on.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Johnstone Supply Wholesale provides HVAC contractors with Amana air conditioners, heat pumps, and furnaces homeowners trust. Built to be reliable, quiet, and energy efficient to provide indoor heating and cooling comfort year-round. Don't settle for less. Trust the experts. To find the right system for your home, locate an Amana Advantage specialist near you at johnstoneamana.com. That's johnstoneamana.com.
A bold change. A historic development is underway for the Bold City, and the Jacksonville Jaguars and team partners are part of it. The Jaguars First and Forward Development Partner Program highlights the significant transformative efforts made towards the city of Jacksonville. Belter, Brooks Building Solutions, Jackson Electric Supply, People's Gas, Start Tech, Miller Electric, AECOM Hunt, and WWK, championing progress on the field and in the community. The First and Forward Program, the First Coast Forward Together. Visit jaguars.com/forward together.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
All right, the Scoreboard Show live from the Hyundai Studios here in Jacksonville. Mike Dempsey and Mark Duffner here with you for a few more minutes. Jags win it 24-20. We'll have a few final thoughts on today's performance. But Coach Duff, you are a long-tenured assistant here in Jacksonville. We were just debating, were you the longest tenured assistant coach in Jaguars history? 8 seasons here.
Eight seasons, and I loved every bit of it.
And a linebacker coach by trade. Now, look, you've been a defensive coordinator, you've been a head coach, so you're much more than that, but you spent a lot of time coaching linebackers in your time. So let's start at the top. Foye Oluokun. What is he just an extension of every coach that he's ever had on the field? He seems like a super smart guy. He's really smart about his body. He plays at a high level. He doesn't have a lot of fanfare. He just gets the job done every time.
Well, you defined him very, very well, and I'd love to coach the guy. I mean, again, bright, productive, confident, gives confidence to the rest of the players, runs the defense, everything you want. If you looked up really what the characteristics of a great linebacker are, that's what Foyer's got. And Tim Lukabu, their linebacker coach, we worked together in Cincinnati. I talked to Tim. I said, Tim, how lucky are you? What a great young man to be around and to have the privilege to coach in Foye. It's a terrific guy.
Yeah, of course, Foye went to Yale. I drove by Yale with my parents once when I lived in Connecticut back in the day, Coach.
That's all good.
Not quite the same thing.
That's all good.
Dennis Gardeck didn't suit up today. Nice pickup for them last year. Now he's even further removed from injury. The coaching staff, I think, loves him. How would you like to see Gardeck deployed this year?
Well, I think D'Anthony's got a good plan for him right now. He's got good rush and pressure ability. He's a smart player. He's a productive player. Charlie Bullen, his coach when he was in Arizona before he came here, we worked together in Miami, and he kept telling me about this guy when he was in Arizona, what a great pass rusher he is. He's not the biggest guy, but he's an effort-filled, high-energy guy who's been productive both in the run game and the pass game. Very smart player, very tough player. He's going to add he plays as Sam linebacker if they utilize that on first and second down, but he's got application on third down as a rusher, both interior and exterior, so he gives you a lot.
All right, well, the battle in this room is Ventrell Miller and Branson Combs right now. And I think a lot of people just assume Ventrell would be stepping up because he's been here longer, but we saw the first unofficial depth chart listed at Miller or Combs at that spot. So from your eye, what does each of these players, Combs and Miller, bring to the table, and how do you see this battle progressing?
Boy, they bring a lot to the table. I love both of them, watching them. Starting with Ventrell, he's a physical player. He's got real good range in terms of sideline to sideline. He's got athleticism to get back in place if he gets out, so we call that recoverability. And he's done an excellent job in coverage. All these one-on-ones and red zone drills, he's always around the football. So he's smart. I think he keys well as far as the pass game and run game is concerned. I like his production. And then you look at Combs. Geez, I mean, he's the same guy in a lot of ways. Excellent movement skills, good length. I saw him run vertically, stretch vertically with Parker Washington for about 40 yards, and I went, oh, wow. And he's a former receiver, I think, in his career. But, I mean, so he's got those athletic skills. Bright guy, also very sticky in coverage, showed up today as far as that, made an excellent tackle in the flat we talked about earlier. I think I'm sure glad we got them both.
Is it two guys for one position? Could it be maybe Ventrell, your early down thumper, Branson Combs, your coverage linebacker on third down, or is that oversimplification?
No, that's not over. I think there's roles and take advantage of their strengths, but they got similar strengths in a lot of ways, so I think it's good. And then when you look at, I was going to throw out there, sometimes on third down, bringing in a guy like Antonio Johnson into that thing where maybe you only have one of these linebackers. Maybe it's Foye in the game. Maybe it's Ventrell. We've got so many good options right now for Anthony to utilize, to deploy as far as defense is concerned with productive athletic players.
All right, Jags win it today on the field. The final result, not as important as the fact that they continue to fight after they got down, showed a lot of second-half resiliency. So the Jags take this one 24-20. Mike Dempsey and Mark Duffner back with some final thoughts in a moment. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
My daughter Alyssa was in a terrible car accident. She had to be airlifted to the hospital. Her ankle was smashed. Her bones were broken beyond repair. Her doctors were worried they might have to amputate, but Alyssa was a candidate for a new innovation to save her foot. They 3D printed a new ankle. She'd tell you about it, but she's out walking on the beach.
UF Health doctors saved Alyssa's foot with a custom chromium alloy 3D printed ankle bone. UF Health. Human progress has no finish line.
Preseason is where you get the reps in, work out the kinks, and make sure everything is ready for opening day. Your plumbing deserves the same game plan. Slow drain, dripping faucet, a toilet that has been questionable all summer? Call Duck Duck Rooter and get your home game day ready before the season gets serious. Duck Duck Rooter, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Start the season ready. DuckDuckRooter.com. We clear the way to victory. Game day every day. Duck Duck Rooter.
Hi, I'm Sam Kavares. I've spent my career covering Jacksonville sports, and I've trusted Echo East Coast Transportation to help me do that for more than 30 years. When the Jacksonville Jaguars need dependable transportation, they trust Echo East Coast as their official carrier. From airport transfers and corporate travel, weddings, special events, and nights out. Call 904-631-5466 or visit EchoEastCoast.com. Echo East Coast Transportation. Trusted by the Jaguars. Trusted by Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here. When you think of barbecue in Jacksonville, it's got to be Bono's Pit Barbecue. For over 75 years, Bono's has been smoking Jacksonville's favorite barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So go to bonosbarbecue.com or call their fantastic catering department at 904-332-7427. That's 904-332-7427. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Before you kick off your next yard project, make sure you've got the right play call. I'm Josh Scobie, and I know a thing or two about game plan. Sunshine 811 is a free service that marks underground utility lines before you dig. Skip the call, and you could get hit with injuries, expensive repairs, fines, or even knockout service for your neighbors. Don't take that risk. Make the smart call. 811 before you dig. Learn more at peoplesgas.com/811.
When disaster strikes, trust the experts at Surf Pro. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they bring the same dedication and precision to restoring your property as the Jaguars do on the field. Whether it's water, fire, or storm damage, their highly trained professionals are on call 24/7 to make it like it never even happened. Surf Pro, your local leader in restoration and cleanup.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
A few minutes of the Scoreboard Show. Mike Dempsey and Mark Duffner. Coach, I loved it, man. It was great hanging out, watching ball with you, talking ball throughout the game today, and continuing to do that in the post game. And if you're listening on 1010XL right now, obviously you can hear Coach Duffner frequently every other Tuesday on XL Primetime.
Yes, sir.
At 1 o'clock. You're also with the former coach Gerald Ingram and Joe Cowart on Tuesdays at 2 o'clock for the Both Sides of the Ball podcast.
Yes, sir. Sure am.
How many, any fisticuffs between the offense and defense there, or you guys keep it pretty civil?
No, we keep it pretty civil. There's good respect involved as far as that's concerned. It's a great show, and what really all of you guys give to our fans in terms of information and understanding the game is excellent.
All right, well, give us one last teaching moment here, okay? What is something from your perspective that maybe Anthony Campanile is going to use, or maybe the linebacker room, or anything you saw out there from a coaching standpoint that you're going to take and say, this is something I can take to the practice field this week that we really need to focus on?
Oh, I think watching this game, I mean, they got so many situations in this game that you may not get till 3 or 4 weeks or 5 weeks into the season. I mean, countless situations that we got to correct penalties. I mean, so all that part of it in terms of technique. But I think the challenges that they had, tough ones, long yardage, tough field position, sudden change occurred. All these things that you kind of hope for that you get, they got in this first game. And they had to find a way to stay in it, to make adjustments, to come out and play really outstanding, I thought, second half in terms of coming back from the first half. All that's going to be priceless in terms of actual experience and decisions that they had to make, actions they had to make to turn the game around.
Love it. Folks, from the backyard to the beaches, the Ford F-150 with available Pro Power on board gives you the power of a mobile generator. Ford, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. See your local Ford dealer today. In addition to catching Coach Mark Duffner on 1010XL, on XL Primetime, and the Both Sides of the Ball podcast, you can listen to myself and Tony Smith on Jaguars Today Radio Monday through Friday from 10 to noon. Jags AM on Monday on Jaguars.com and Jags YouTube. Of course, Jaguars Happy Hour Monday from 4 to 6 o'clock on 1010XL as well. For all of the folks helping us put on the broadcast today, congrats to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Always better to win than lose. 24-20. We'll have our best thoughts out there for Chuma Edoga when we find out what the extent of his injury is. But the Jaguars will come home 1-0 in the preseason. Get ready for the Carolina Panthers next Friday night here at the Bank at 7:30, 633-2000 if you need to get those tickets, folks. That'll do it for Mark Duffner. I'm Mike Dempsey. This has been the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.